Ladies and gentlemen, this is SoFlo Josh, and we're here at the 2025 Miami International Auto Show. And right in front of me, I have the 2026 Subaru Solterra. Now, as many of you know, the Solterra is the sibling to the Toyota BZ model, and it's gotten a refresh just like its brother. So let's go ahead and talk about the styling changes. So at the front, we have a new split headlight design. So we have full-on DRLs in the front. Now, these DRLs at the top and the bottom, these 6 DRLs, actually are a little bit of a homage to the Subaru logo with the 6 stars, which is pretty nice to see that they kind of incorporated some of that design philosophy into their headlights. Full LED projector lights down here in the bottom, and we do have some air inlets right here to go ahead and cool that battery. Speaking about that, we now have more power for this Solterra. So it is still a dual electric motor, but it now produces 338 horsepower compared to the last refresh model, which is really nice to see. We're gonna get around 288 miles of overall range. And then when you look at this, one of the main things about this model is that we find the NACS charging port right there. So no longer do you have to have the CCS charging port or get an adapter. Well, you're still going to have to get an adapter if you still need to charge at a CCS port, but now you can easily charge at the Tesla charging sites. And when you look at this model, they have changed a little bit of material. So we're going to get gloss black designs for the fenders. I believe you can still get the body cladding like we find underneath there on the lower part of the doors, but it does look nicer. It has the gloss black roof, so it kind of has that split design function as well. And when we look at the back, not so much has actually changed for this model. I think there's been a little bit of a change to the headlights, the taillights I mean. There's going to be full LED taillights right here, Subaru badging in the back, and then when we open up the liftgate right here, it is a power liftgate. So you're going to get tons of overall space back here. And then when you fold those seats down, actually, we're going to do that right now so you can see, you're going to get more space. So it is almost a little bit of a hump. That means you're gonna have a little bit of a tricky time putting stuff into the rear cargo section, but it's not as bad as what the competition is right now with that large hump that they have. But as you see, tons of overall space. When you open up here, you can easily put your charging ports, and if you kick that up, you'll find even more space. You can actually lower this into a lower setting for more height for this model, and I'm really happy to report that. We do find an outlet right here. It's going to be 120 volt, 1500 watt outlet. And we find the AC button right there. So you go ahead and activate that. We have a Harman Kardon subwoofer back here, which honestly not expected from a Subaru model as well. Getting into the back, opening up the door. It's a nice hefty door. On the material side of things, we have kind of a faux injection molding right here on the top section, but we do have soft padding right here. It's very interesting, the material they use for this, because it kind of reminds me of something that I used to play with as a kid, like a toy. It has like this cheap style finish to it. I'm not a really huge fan of that, but we do find some other accents across. We have your door handle, window switch gear, and then we have these seats. So they're going to be perforated. These are not leather seats. Like I said, these are kind of like that same one that you find in the Subaru Outback models. But sitting behind myself at 5'10", ample amount of space, because this is riding on an electric platform, which is really good. Now when you look back here, we do have heated seats on either side and 2 USB Type-Cs with rear air vents. We don't find a sunroof in this model. I think that you can get a sunroof, but we do find an LED dome light for this variant right here. Let's go ahead and get into the front and let's check it out. Getting in and out is actually very easy, even though the roof doesn't really taper off too much. Actually, I thought it would, but I think that the gloss black is kind of deceiving my eyes a little bit and thinking that it does taper off a little bit. Opening up the front door section, we do have soft padding over here with the injection molded plastic, and then we have that same exact material on this side. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of that. We have your window switch gear control, and you also have your power folding mirrors right there, presets for your power seats with perforations down the middle. This does have a two-tone design to it, so it's going to be black on the outside and then more of that white/grayish look to it. Getting inside, same exact steering wheel that we find in the Toyota products. It's going to be having a flat top and flat bottom steering wheel. The big difference for this model is a 14-inch touchscreen display. So Now we have that screen in here from the Lexus products actually embedded into here, a wireless charging pad on that side and one over here on this side. Very nice to see we have dual wireless charging pads instead of just one. Large cup holders on here. We also have your switch gear to go ahead and put it in drive, and then we also have a emergency parking brake with your camera section as well as auto hold, hill descent control, and then you have, I believe, your preset for the X mode drive modes, and then we also find the traction control off. And of course, at the digital gauge cluster, it's about like 7 inches of screen size, which is not the best. I actually kind of don't like that. I wish it was a little bit larger because look how much bezel space that you get over there on the sides. But honestly, it's a really nice car in here. You even have some shifter paddles right here for the regenerative braking, so you can easily just adjust that whenever you're driving, and you do still have a push button start. So it doesn't mean that when you get into the car it automatically starts. When you sit down, it's a little bit different. You actually have to press the button. But like I mentioned, this model will also start heading over to dealerships very soon. I believe they start around 41,395 for this model right here, or for the base version. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.